It's continuing to spool up. All indications are green. And just a couple more seconds. All right, the meeting is yours, Mayor. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you. I'd like to call the regular City Commission meeting of Tuesday, November 17th to order and ask all of you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For our organizational meeting of a year ago, we elected Commissioner Jules Olsman as our Mayor Pro Tem for the next year, starting with this meeting and ending at the organizational meeting of November of 2021. So I'll start the roll call with Mayor Pro Tem Olsman.
Present.
Commissioner Joe Rozelle.
Present.
Commissioner Michelle Elder.
Present.
Commissioner Jeff Jenks.
Present.
Mayor Paul, present. Approval of the agenda. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman.
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks.
Aye.
Commissioner Elder.
Aye.
Commissioner Rozelle.
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Next up is the approval of the consent agenda. Is there any item that needs to be pulled off?
I'd like to have the regular meeting minutes of October 14 pulled off.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman.
Aye.
Commissioner Elder.
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks.
Aye.
Commissioner Rozelle.
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. The one item that was pulled off, the regular meeting minutes of October 14th. Do we have a change to that, Commissioner Jenks?
Yes, and it may have already been changed. Can you ask Heidi if it was modified?
There was a revision sent out changing your vote on the, I forget which item it was now, on the
Hiring policy.
on the hiring policy. Correct.
Okay. I have no problem. I did vote no. In the comments, all it shows is pleased with the hiring policy as it relates to the goals for the city's hiring practices. During the discussion, I strongly objected to a 10-day minimum notice for job availability. I indicated a preference for 30 days notice because the ordinance allowed the city manager to shorten that length on a case-by-case basis. I'd like that added to my comment. And I did send to Heidi and Amy that wording.
Okay, Commissioner Jenks, I would just point out that our minutes are not verbatim.
The problem is, it says in the minutes that I agree. The reason I voted no was a long discussion where I said I thought it should be 30 minutes, not 10. It looks crazy here that I vote no, and yet, and there was a long discussion. All I'm concerned about is I want the record to show that I wanted 30 minutes, not 10.
Okay, so a simple addition that your objection was that the time should be 30 days versus 10.
Correct,
Nice, okay,
correct.
all right.
That's my only concern with the minutes.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the minutes and as amended?
So move.
A second?
Seconded.
Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Well, I must vote aye.
Mayor Paul, aye.
Thank
Motion-
you.
Communications, I don't believe we have any communications.
Yeah,
Did I
you
miss
have
one?
one resignation.
That was stuck to my consent agenda. Okay, do we have a motion to accept the resignation of Kevin Withane from the Historic District Committee with thanks for his service to the community?
I sadly move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to, I know he's not here anymore, but Kevin made a tremendous contribution in the short time that he was a community member, both on the Historic Commission as well as in the development of the city's anti-racism plan. So I am very grateful for his friendship to the city and the time and efforts that he put in.
Okay. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Moving on to our county commissioners with us this evening. Commissioner Zach.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for allowing me into the meeting ahead of time. It was great. So I am still busily working till the end of my term, which sunsets December 31, 2020. And the big project that we are working on internally is implementing a compensation study. And this is a huge endeavor when you have over 4,000 employees. It's a project that, frankly, I think I voted on in 2015 or 16 to start it. And it got put aside by the past administration. Then it got put aside because of COVID. We're finally in the process of implementing this new policy that will hopefully make Oakland County a more competitive employer. Along with this policy, we are offering a severance package to employees that want to retire. And we will be starting a committee of employees to look at studying our whole benefit package and making suggestions how we can be more creative and contemporary. So it's a big project. Structurally, it's one of the biggest projects that I've had in my career. I do want to remind residents, all of the COVID work that has been done in Oakland County. Our public health department has been extraordinary. And if you are interested in more Oakland County services, resources, I want to refer you to the Oakland County website, www.oakgov.com/COVID. I do want to assure residents that there is plenty of community testing at different locations. The closest one is our Southfield Health Office, and that's offered on Mondays and Wednesdays. It might take a little bit of time to hold on the phone with nurse on call to schedule things, but there is plenty scheduling available. One of the we've been doing drive-through testing, and we are in the process. We've identified several drive-through garages where we will move the testing through those drive-through garages so that our employees won't freeze and that people, going through won't freeze. I know one of them will be located in Southfield, and we're looking for strategic locations across the county so we can continue that drive-through testing in a warmer environment. I do want to talk a little bit about contact tracing. That is part of how you handle and fight COVID. Very creatively at the beginning of COVID, we had, I think, 3 or 4 contact tracers in our county health department. And what we did is they cross-trained employees. So there's roughly about 200 available people to do contact tracing. And this was being supervised, listening to calls, true supervisory training, not just taking a class online. So I really feel good about, what we have to offer. We're still in the process. Oakland County received $219 million from the federal government for CARES money, response to COVID funding. And there are still many grants open. Again, at the county website, www.ocgov.com/grants, /COVID, and then go to grants. For example, for if we have some struggling, unemployed, low-income individuals, we have some micro grants available. If there's any nonprofits, people that work at nonprofits, we have still open till November 23rd, a nonprofit COVID-19 economic impact grant. It's an opportunity for nonprofits to apply again if they haven't been able to raise the normal amount of money for their services. Obviously, local government, I know that Huntington Woods has submitted money for COVID funding. Veterans, I know we have veterans that live in Huntington Woods, and the head of our veterans department, Garth Wooten, also lives in Huntington Woods, but we have a lot of different resources, grant funding, and I would encourage veterans to look for this. There's also another business support. It's called the COVID-19 grant funded legal and financial consultation and training for small businesses. These are free business services. We're trying to keep our small businesses alive. And once again, it's the same place. There's also resources for mortgage, utility, and rent relief. Again, if you are having issues because of COVID, paying your utility bills, again, there's a link to how you can apply for that. So that's all I have tonight. Are there any questions for me?
Yeah, Helene, can you see if we can get a breakdown of COVID cases at our city level as it relates to total cases and recent cases by age groups?
So have you looked at the Oakland County COVID website?
The Oakland County one does the Oakland County graph.
Well,
I don't believe that Huntington Woods fits that model. And it could be different here. If we're going to really challenge locally what's going on, we have to know the age groups and be able to push them forward.
So there is a zip code. Do you know
we have 99 cases and we have 33 recent. Is there a graph that will come up on that also by age?
No, but let me ask that question if I can get better demographics on the numbers.
I think our city manager knows that demographic. Am I correct?
At the county level?
No, at the city level.
Oh, okay. Amy?
No, I don't. We tried to get it and were unable to. The county just said that they didn't have enough bandwidth to break it down by each community. But they
Okay,
looked at
there's
our
your answer.
demographics and said it was similar to the county and we should just go with that. That we
There's your
were not an
answer.
outlier at the time I asked.
There's your answer. I'm sorry, Jeff, that if Amy asked, I'll get the same response. So I get reports, I have access to that. And I also, there's the government affairs from Beaumont system showing us also the bed total. And I think that you probably get that as well.
Mhm.
Watching, that is also another measurement that we are all watching too.
Okay.
We're above 1.5% at this point.
Which on the scheme of things is doing well, but no case is a good case. So all of us, practicing our best responsible behavior and working collectively is what is going to help us all get through it. But knowing that we have a public health system that's taking, a county government's taking it very seriously and trying to support all of us in the best ways that they can.
Commissioner
you.
Zach, I just want to say thank you. You've been so great at keeping us informed of these CARES Act dollars, but just what's going on at the county level. And you're absolutely right. And I think it might be interesting to see the age breakdown by Huntington Woods, but we're only a small city and not immune to this. And I think just looking at the data from the county, rationally, you can deduce what age groups are impacting the numbers right now. So I just wanted to say thank you for keeping us informed.
Thank you. And I just ask to all of you, if there are trends of issues, resources that you need, that you're hearing about in the next week or two, one of the things that we're looking at very closely is we want to spend every dollar that was given to us. Presently, we have to spend it by the end of the year. And so if there's we're looking at leftover money in some of our funding things and what are the continued needs. So if we haven't hit the right targets, let me know, please.
Commissioner, thank you for being an advocate for us at the county and getting helping us secure a lot of those COVID dollars that we were eligible for here in the city, because certainly every little bit helps as we've had to adjust here to the new normal. So certainly appreciate that. And if you could make me eligible for that early retirement incentive, I'd be even more. I'm just kidding.
Well, I have to thank our director of elections too for all of the hard work. And I hear it's been rocky.
It's been.
Locally, it's been rocky. And so I thank you, Joe, and your team and everything that you've done. We tried to support you with some incentives too and different resources with COVID CARES, but it has not been an easy canvassing is what I understand, certification. And I'm glad that our election was certified and Wayne County was not.
Wayne County was not, and that could have very well happened here, and it was averted this morning, so that was good.
Yeah, so I appreciate all that you do. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to public participation. Now is an opportunity for the public to address the commission for an item that is not on the agenda. Turn that over to Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There are no public attendees on the line at this time.
Okay. With that, public participation is closed and we'll move on to our regular items of business, starting with our first item, which is a first reading of an ordinance to introduce an ordinance to amend the city code of the city of Huntington Woods, chapter 24, for offenses, Article 3, offenses against the person, to add offenses for domestic assault and battery. Amy, do you want to?
Yes, this is an ordinance change that's proposed by our prosecutors, and it allows for prosecution of domestic assault cases under our city code. Right now, we could only file a complaint under state law, and the prosecutors are recommending that we adopt this ordinance so that we can handle the cases internally. So this would be the first reading of that ordinance.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Any public comment? Do we still not have any public?
Yes, that is correct, Mayor. There are no other public on the line at this time.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the commission?
Mr. Mayor, I see that this primarily is revenue driven, so that the fine or whatever would stay locally. But I'm curious, is the penalty for domestic assault now in our local ordinance then the same as in state law? So we're just mirroring state law in our own local ordinance? And
I
would,
don't know the answer to that, but I'd be happy
Yeah.
to look into it and send it
Yeah.
everybody a follow-up email.
Well, Carol's on the line.
Yeah, but I think the prosecutors put this together, and I did not talk to them unfortunately because I've been out, but I think my understanding was that we were just not up to date with the statute, and they updated it and gave us the ability to enforce it.
But if it's a state law crime, why do we need a local ordinance?
Well, so that we can go ahead and prosecute it,
and
just
the
like we
memo-
do a lot of other things that are also state law crimes.
Well, I know, but this kind of have other localities adopted their own ordinances like this, which essentially mirror state law?
Yeah, my understanding they have, so the locals can enforce it, because otherwise you've got to run it through, the state and have the state willing to prosecute it.
Well, you have to run it through the prosecutor. You still have to run it through the city attorney here, don't you?
Right, right. That's substantially easy.
No, I'm not contesting the ease of the process. I'm contesting the need for the process. In other words, hypothetically, you have a domestic assault that occurs in Huntington Woods, okay? And the police are called and they do whatever they do to mitigate the circumstances. And then they still have to present it to the prosecutor in order to obtain a warrant. So my question is, I'm not saying it's ill-intended. I didn't say that. I said I'm wondering what do we get for it? In other words, I get the idea we can pass an ordinance, but the idea is question I have is why are we passing it if it's essentially state law and the processes are virtually the same?
Mr. Mayor, my second part of the question was, would a criminal conviction under a local ordinance go on someone's record like a criminal conviction under state law? And that are we, by prosecuting this locally under some local ordinance, somehow allowing a potential domestic assault, someone who's committing domestic assault to have something of a lesser degree on their record or skirt their record altogether?
I guess my response to you, Commissioner Roselle, is it's still going to go on the record with the same conviction.
Okay.
And I guess Commissioner Olsman, what I would say to you is it's a matter of us having more control over the prosecution versus it going somewhere else where they may choose to prosecute or not. So.
Yeah, but that can still happen here. That can still happen.
Sure, it can happen
Yeah,
here,
local.
but I guess if you disagree with the way your prosecutors are handling matters like this, you have the ability to get rid of them, but you don't if it's being prosecuted by the state. So it's just a matter of whether or not you want to be able to have some control over this locally.
And Carol, it says that if we proceed with this under state law and we don't adopt this local ordinance, there's a loss of revenue to the city.
Yes,
What
well,
exactly is that?
Well, I'm not sure what they mean by that, other than the fact that, obviously there's, the fines would come to us versus to
Okay.
the state.
All right.
So, but I don't think this is being driven solely for revenue.
Okay.
And certainly I could take your questions and pose them to the prosecutors before the second reading. for further
Yes,
consideration.
I would appreciate that, because like I
Okay.
said, I'm not suggesting it's it's not a, there's nothing inherently wrong. The question is whether it's inherently necessary.
Mhm. Okay,
That to me, before you pass an ordinance, somebody should say, is it necessary?
okay. I will float that by all of them and get a response to you before the second reading.
Okay, any other comments? Roll call vote, Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, also a first reading, is approval of an ordinance to amend the City Code of Ordinances, Chapter 6, Buildings and Building Regulations. This is regarding historic preservation, to reduce our historic district committee, basically, to reduce the number of members to 7. We have a motion.
So moved.
Was the motion by Mayor Pro Tem Olsman. Who was the second?
Me.
Michelle.
Any comments or questions?
So this is something where state law gives us the flexibility to just determine the makeup of the board, or is state law totally silent? We can just determine the size in our ordinance.
There's a maximum number. We've gone with 9 historically, and we're reducing it down to 7. At least my experience has been, while I've been here, we have a problem getting, the full board to show up for the meetings because of conflicts. And the difficulty with that is when your board is 9 members, you have to have a vote of 5 members to prevail. So if you only have 5 members or 6 members show up for a meeting, it causes a real problem for the applicants. So this is something Hank and I have talked about for a while, and it made sense to reduce the numbers so that we do get a board that will be there and make it more fair for applicants coming before them. Is that a fair summary, Hank?
Yes, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. The Public Act allows us to either have a composition of 7 or 9 members. And as Carol mentioned, and she and I have talked about, the 9 members was a problem, and we were left oftentimes with 5 or 6 members attending, and 5 votes were affirmative were needed in order to pass anything. So as a result, it was less than fair to the residents of the city. So in best interest, staff at least is recommending this change.
Does the board, is this the board that requires us to have like certain, like an architect and certain?
Yeah.
That is correct.
So by reducing the number, the requirements that we're supposed to have are unaffected. These would just be at-large spots that would be reduced.
I mean, you're fortunate in the city in that if you look at the qualifications for the composition, you have more than enough people that meet those qualifications. So we're still going to meet the qualifications with the lesser number.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call vote, Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 3 is the second reading of an ordinance to amend the city code of the City of Huntington Woods, Chapter 14, Environment, Article 1 in general, section 14-1, public nuisance defined and prohibited, and to delete section 14.4, which is smoke measurement. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
Any public comment? Ken, I'm assuming there's still no public?
That's correct, Mr. Mayor. There's still there's no public on the line at this time.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the commission?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would point out that section 14.3 does now specifically indicate that this particular ordinance is not intended to regulate fire pits or smokers and personal use items, if you will, by homeowners. I was a little concerned by what we were passing, that it was taking away statutory authority or code authority, if you will, from the city, and I'm satisfied with the changes. I've had multiple conversations with Ms. Rosati about this, and also with Mr. Berry. So I'm happy with the changes.
Okay, any other comments? Roll call vote, Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Rozell,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 4 is a matter of considering approval of the MERS plan amendments. You want to take us through that?
Yeah, this is housekeeping that MERS has asked all of their member cities to make. It is putting down in writing what defines compensation and how many hours a month an employee needs to work to be considered eligible for pension purposes. And the idea is to have this in writing so that future administrators have access to it and we don't have to just remember from year to year. So there's no changes. It's just formalizing what we already have in place with regard to our pension plan.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Quick comment. Can anyone joined us yet?
Not yet, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the commission? All right, roll call vote, Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Rozell,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Item number 5 is a matter of consideration to the referral, the MOD Act action plan to the Planning Commission to be formally incorporated into the master plan update process. Amy, do you want to add anything to that?
I'm sorry, you froze. Were you asking me for an explanation?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, we are, as you know, we're at the tail end of our certification process for the redevelopment ready communities application. And one of the items is to adopt a corridor plan. And the timing is great in that the RTA is working on a corridor plan for all of Woodward. So we would like this referred to the Planning Commission to be incorporated into the master plan, and the MEDC wants to make sure that the City Commission received this report and is aware of it. So by taking this formal action, we'll be able to tick that box on our application, and we will send it to the Planning Commission for their consideration.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So move.
Support.
Second.
Any public comment? Any public with us yet, Ken?
Not currently, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the commission?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Amy, thank you so much for working on this. I think that it would be very helpful to our residents if we can put some efforts towards also communicating what the RTA has done, just for their benefit, for knowledge, as well as you're referring this to the Planning Commission. I myself still need to spend a lot more time on this, but I am aware of this plan, and it does sound like the timing is ideal. And I think regionalism is very important to the future of this community, and I think a lot of people choose to live here because of the accessibility to a lot of the assets in the region, and that the mobility is a big issue for a lot of people, especially aging populations. So this is really important, and I think this is a good opportunity to participate in regionalism and be a good partner and a steward in this effort. And I'm really excited for the redevelopment ready community certification. Can you just brief everybody on that update about the $50,000 that we're receiving from MEDC to support the master plan?
Well, we're receiving half of that. We are estimating that our master plan process is going to be about $50,000, and MEDC is satisfied with our progress on the redevelopment ready certification. And so they're going to give us a grant for approximately half of the master plan cost. So about $25,000.
Excellent.
Which is a big step.
Yeah.
We've made enough progress that they are convinced that we're going to finish the process and are willing to give us the grant before we actually officially have become certified. But we're well on our way.
That's wonderful. In addition to just the general communications, I'm also wondering if this is something that the communications committee help us with. I think you froze up. Amy, did you hear?
No.
Oh, I was wondering if this could be a part of the master plan efforts that the communications committee could help us with, so that we can get this information out to our residents.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The
No further
Planning
questions.
Commission and communication are going to work hand in hand.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle, Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Item number 6 is a resolution considering entering into a purchase agreement with Deere and Company of Cary, North Carolina, for the purchase of a new John Deere in the amount of $39,452.14.
So moved. What's there to, we need it, isn't it? So I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, are we not? Sorry.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
Oh, thank you.
Never vote against John Deere.
All right. Any public?
Well, like voting against Jack Danielson.
There is no public comment because there still remains no public on the line at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions from the commission? Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 7 is a consideration to enter into a purchase agreement with Signature Ford of Owasso, Michigan, for the purchase of a 2021 Ford F-250 pickup with an 8-foot plow utilizing Michigan Deal contract in the amount of $38,321. We have a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Any public comment?
No public comment, Mayor.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the commission?
Getting ready for winter.
Roll call vote, Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Item number 8 is a matter of considering into an agreement with National Ladder and Scaffold Company of Madison Heights for the purchase of an Airtow UT 1410 trailer in the amount of $14,395. Purpose of this trailer, Amy, is
You know, my reception's so bad. Do you mind if I turn it over to Tim?
that's fine.
Yeah, so this trailer was requested by the DPW during the budget process. And so they can transport their asphalt roller. Currently, they have to borrow Berkeley's trailer whenever they take it out. And their concrete saw, they're usually utilizing like lift gate to lift it up and do a bed of a pickup truck, which isn't very safe. So they want to get a utility trailer to transport their items.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Public comment?
No public comment, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the commission? Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Item number 9 is setting the 2021 City Commission meeting dates. We have a motion to approve the schedule as presented.
So move.
Support.
Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move to,
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I just.
Sorry about that, Mr. Mayor. There was no public comment.
okay. Any comments or questions from the commission?
I was just gonna jump in. May 4th, that is a potential election day next year. If the school or city wanted to utilize that date. So I'm wondering if we could maybe move off of the May 4th date.
For the third Tuesday in May, which would be the 21st. Do we know if there's any conflicts there? What, 14? That'd be 28, right?
The third Tuesday,
18th.
18th.
18th, yes. That okay with you, Amy, as far as you know?
Yeah, and the only reason I didn't move it is the communication committee usually meets the third Tuesday of the month, but I can easily move their meeting. So we can go with the 18th for city commission.
We have a motion. Commissioner Elder, you accept that change?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Olsman?
Aye.
Okay. Any public comment? I think we already did this, didn't we?
We did.
Yes. All right, roll call vote. Mayor Pro.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, no public comment. I was looking at my calendar in real time here, just trying to follow along.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. Item number 10, we're going to move to the next city commission meeting. And with that, we need a motion to, following the conclusion of this meeting, to move into closed session for the purpose of a discussion of purchase or lease of real property.
And Mayor Paul, I would just note for the record that this is authorized under the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268, paren small d.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any public comment?
No public comment, Mr. Mayor?
Okay. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Commissioner Roselle,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Motion carries. We will not be reconvening. So with that, we'll move on to the city manager's report.
Yes, as you know, we sent out an e-blast and put it out on our social media platforms that we are closing our City Hall, Public Safety, and Department of Public Works to the public because of the alarming rate in COVID cases. We still plan to provide all the services that we usually do. Curbside pickup, for example, at the library is still available. Public safety is still working, and staff is available by phone and by email. We're just trying to take the temperature down a little bit, keep staff safe, keep residents safe. And if anybody has any questions or they have an immediate need, they can get a hold of anybody at City Hall and we'll do our best to accommodate them. And that's all I have.
Any questions for the city manager? In that, thank you, Amy. We need a motion to adjourn the regular city commission meeting. Is that correct, Carol? Since we're going into.
Didn't realize I was turned off there. We can actually adjourn the regular meeting following the closed session, even though we won't be live. You've notified the public that we will not be returning to open session for any decisions, so.
Okay. You don't need to take any.
Yeah, so we'll just be going into closed session at this point.
Okay. With that, we'll move into closed session. Give Ken a minute to take care of.
Sure. Just so that I'm clear, normally the way we do this with other communities is that we move the board to a private breakout room, but then the board comes back to announce that they've returned. But it sounds like in this case that we're not going to be doing that.
No, that's right.
So okay, so this
You'll break us out, then we'll just come back to adjourn the meeting.
okay. So I will send you into the private breakout room and we'll continue the YouTube feed until you return. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to play Scotty from Star Trek and start to beam everyone over to the private room. So just bear with me for just a moment. Okay. I'm going to ask for the names as I go through here if they should be beamed over. So Amy, yes? Is that correct?
Yes.
Carol, you're going?
Yep.
Joe?
I have to.
Okay. Jeff?
Yes.
Jules?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Michelle Elder?
Yes.
Tim Rowland?
Yes.
Okay. We do have a person in the waiting room that just arrived, Wayne Wooduyak.
Yep. Yes.
Wadika.
Wadika. He's the developer. I told you that was going to be joining the closed session.
Okay, let me let him into this meeting initially, and then I'll also move him to the
Okay.
closed session.
Okay.
So he should be arriving into this meeting, the regular meeting here. And while he is, when you're done with the regular meeting, if you would like to just select on your screen on your respective square to come back into the regular meeting, that's how you return. Okay. Wayne, can you see and hear me okay?
I can, thank you.
Okay, Wayne, I'm going to also
Ben?
add you. Yes.
Ben, can I ask you real quickly? I've never done this, so I'm joining.
I'm sorry, Carol? I think she may. Everyone should receive an announcement on their screen to join the breakout room.
Yeah.
Wayne, do you see that on your screen?
Yes.
It looks like everyone's coming back.
Bob, you're muted.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So move.
Seconded.
Okay, roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Olsman,
Aye.
Commissioner Elder,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenks,
Aye.
Mayor Paul, aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you
Ken,
all.
Ken and
Good night.
Amy, don't click off yet, okay?
Thank you.